Quick story. Yeah. Quick story.
Before he says that, you beat me in a tournament.
Yep. My first tournament I ever played in, C doubles. Yeah, I don't know what year it was. It was in Diker. First round. Me and my man Benji had to take out King Kadeem.
How long ago was that?
It was a long time.
Long time ago?
Definitely remember.
Start. Hey guys, what's up? It's episode 3 of the Burning Rubber Show, and we got an extra special guest in the building, Kadeem Bush.
King Kadeem.
We know. Oh, and we're gonna probably put the footage up, but he had the Gambit. What was that? Gloss, shiny, metallic, shiny with the king in the back with the sparkles. So we're gonna post that so you guys can check that out.
Malik, thank you for that.
Oh, okay, yeah, shout out, yeah.
Shout out to Malik.
His Instagram too. Let us know so we can cop that.
I don't even know his Instagram, but Malik Montreal, from Florida. He created that design. If y'all want custom outfits, that's the person to go to.
There you go. That was fire.
He ships.
Yep, ships.
Oh yeah.
On point.
So of course, again, we always have burning questions that we like to ask our guests. And then Kadeem can answer those for us. And Justin, with the referee, always checking me like when I have my dumb questions. So we'll start with why handball?
Handball, well, it wasn't supposed to be handball at first. I was playing chess at a local park. It's Gershwin. I live in East New York developments. So Gershwin, they have handball courts, and right next to it is a chess park right there. So I was playing chess one day, and the guy on the handball court was like, "You can't come over here to this side." I'm playing him in chess, so he's like, "You can't come over here to my side." I was like, "I can do whatever I want." And then he started playing him, and then Selvin was his name, and he was beating me all the time. I was like, one day I'm gonna get better than you. I'm gonna be better than you. So I kept practicing, and then one day I finally beat him. It became competitive, so I started trying.
So you think you were King Kadeem since age what was that? 13, 10?
I was like 13. I was in my senior year. I was in my about to be freshman year of high school. And that's when I first started developing handball right there. I didn't know I was going to be king. That was one of my highest dreams right there, is to become king.
So speaking of freshmen, so our next question was basically what was your graduation like from B to A?
From B to A, it was very fast. It was really, really pretty much fast. I was developing to a C player for a while. And then once I became a B player, I went from B to A in the matter of a year.
I have a question.
Quick development.
Did you win the PHA C doubles the year you got your A card? Was
Yes.
that the same year?
That was the same year.
So you played in a C tournament.
C tournament. I played in the C tournament. Won the C tournament. Lost first round. Actually, it wasn't that same year.
It wasn't?
It was not the same year because the first round I lost to Carlos Pena and Angel. I lost first round and became A players that year. Carlos became A player that year.
No, but in a C doubles in PHA in 4th and 4th, you beat Mikey Nagai and Gooch.
In the finals.
Was that the same year you got your A card?
That
wasn't.
That was
the year before?
That was the year before. Yeah,
Okay.
Carlos graduated that year.
Okay.
I graduated the year after that.
All right.
Yeah.
And who gave you your A card?
Dwight. Dwight gives out the A cards. He decides who's considered an A player and establishing at the end of the year in the wintertime at Zariga most of the time. They give out the A cards right there.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
And what else did you accomplish the last year you were a B player? What did you win that year?
The last year I was a B player. I believe I won 2 B tournaments with Pork Chop, which is Josh Million, if y'all don't know. That's my partner back then. I won a mixed tournament, which was Angel's tournament. I won that with Jeanette. I beat Ruby and Angel in the finals. And I also won Opens with 49 Ed. It was local Opens. I played Giovanni Vasquez, and I played Justin Rodriguez in the final. Tall Justin in the finals. I actually didn't win no singles tournaments.
You didn't win any?
I didn't have. That was one of the things I never won. I never want to be singles. The C doubles and the B doubles were the same day. I played with Jeff in the C doubles. We won that over Gooch. And then we played in the first round in the B tournament, and we got left on 2 by Angel and Carlos.
Now, Handball Legends through that BC, you took that too, didn't you?
Yes, Handball Legend through BC back in 2011, I believe, or 2012.
Who hosts that?
That he doesn't.
even
He's
play
not
handball
around
anymore.
anymore. Yeah, like it was. Honestly, I think it was the only tournament he threw, and it was 500 first place guaranteed, regardless of who comes, and some bracelets, and 64 teams came.
Yeah.
At Cropsey, I played in that.
Yeah.
When you say guaranteed, is that like not normal? Like people don't normally guarantee a pot?
No,
Not in such a way where it's automatic. When it says guaranteed and the money is all established there, no matter who comes out. Like say if there's one team, that one team could.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
It was literally guaranteed.
Yeah.
So people came out.
Yeah, that was
64 teams.
That was one of the biggest.
Iggy was still a B player at that time too.
Iggy played with Mega Man actually.
He played with Mega Man?
He played with Mega Man. I played him in the middle of the court across it.
But okay, so you won that. So was that the year you got your A card?
That was the year I got my A card. Was won the Opens, the won the mixed tournament, and I won 2 doubles.
So you won 4 tournaments.
4 tournaments.
And got your A card.
And got my A card.
And none of them were singles.
None of it was singles.
How did you know that you? How did you know that? Like even like when you were just like, yo, I can play this. How did you know that you could compete with all those players that you saw on the court?
Well, with my athleticism, even back then, I was short, but I was like, I had hunger and I was agile. Like I was athletic. I played every sport, no matter what it was.
So you just saw them and you were like, they're chumps.
Yeah, I was like, sooner or later, I'll be able to beat y'all. With practice, I'm definitely be able to beat y'all sooner or later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Nothing like held me down to like say I'm not going to be able to do something. Anybody tell me I can't do something, I'm trying to prove them wrong. So that's where my game style came from.
So I know we have some more questions. I have a question for you though. When you got your A card, when you became an A player, me as a spectator, because you know I've always been cool with you.
Yeah.
I've always watched your game. I loved your game. Me as a spectator, I felt like your confidence went from I'm really good in handball to I'm gonna be the best. Am I right at saying that?
Yes, it was a gradual effect for me. Like once I got my A card, that was one of the, I put my things in order. Like in the next 5 years, when I first started playing, I was like, next 5 years I want to be A player. After that, I want to win Opens. I want to win singles tournament. After that, I have my steps in order. So once I won my A card, I was like, all right, I know what the next step is to win open singles now. So I know what I need to do that. I need to play harder competition. So I felt like at that point, I was developing into a better player. I was beating better players. I'll be Pee Wee in the tournament coming up. So then I was like, I know I'm on my way. I'll be the legends at that point. So later on, it was just either me winning or it was like me holding myself back. So I felt like I could win these tournaments, and then that's what happened.
Is there a Grand Slam of handball? Like Grand Slam is when you win
only the nationals you could slam. But I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's not, and I don't think anyone's done it. Right, even if there was.
The closest anyone ever came was, I believe that, I haven't played handball, was Timbo in 2013. He won all the titles except King of the Court.
Yeah.
He literally won every single tournament except King of the Court.
So, I mean, for next year, is that the goal?
That's always the goal, but you know how hard that is. You know,
yeah, of course.
There's so much pressure you got to put on yourself to achieve that kind of level of play. It's like, at 2013, it was no one touching Timbo at that point.
That was the best version of Timbo.
Yeah, that was the best version of Timbo.
That was the hair.
With the long
hair.
Yeah, with the long hair. That was the best version of Timbo right there. Can you imagine going like 99% for the whole year?
Yeah.
A, B's, B doubles.
I mean, every weekend.
Every weekend he was winning.
Everything. National slamming. The Red Bull. Leaving
Red Bull.
Leaving top players under 10. But that's Timbo. We're talking about Kadeem now. So now Kadeem. I personally think that should be a goal of yours.
Hands down.
It could be
to
a
Grand Slam.
At least
so what would it be? So it's gonna start. So are you gonna include the Philly tournament?
You have to include. The Philly tournament just started this year.
Tell me about that. I have no idea. What is that one?
So it was the Battle of Kings.
Yes.
And it was an open doubles in Philly. And it was pretty good. I liked it. I went down there, I watched it.
I liked it at your tournament.
I do know that, and they also guaranteed money. And they didn't get the participation that they wanted and still paid out what they promised.
That's what guaranteed. That's what we consider the guaranteed tournament.
So.
But how many players was it?
It was teams. It was an open doubles, and they got 23.
Something like that. Somewhere around that, 23
and they wanted 32.
Yeah.
So they had to pay out like $2,000.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, because again, they're always trying to make it from the players.
From the pot.
From the pot.
More or less, if you guarantee it now, they're putting money out of their own pocket.
Right. So if we include the Battle of Kings, it's going to, because they're going to do it the third. I spoke to them I think it's the third April, the third Saturday of every April. Was it April this year or May?
It was May this year.
So the third Saturday of every May is the Battle of the Kings, right? So that's going to be the first one.
That would start the year out.
That would start the
That would
year.
start the year.
Then you would have the Gladiators. Then you would have the Nationals. Buddha, King of the Courts, Big Blue Ballers. So you would have to win all 6 to slam.
To slam.
That's fire.
And that's hard.
That's crazy.
That's hard.
And mind you, 3 of those are doubles because the Nationals is singles and doubles.
Right.
Yeah.
So 3 of them, you also got to rely on a strong partner to get you there.
That's one of the hard parts.
I mean, that's got to be.
That's one of the harder parts.
That's got to be a huge. That's got to be the accomplishment.
Yeah.
When you get to the elite level, there's stuff that you gotta like add to yourself. Like now I want King of the Course. Now I'll have ballers under my name. Now what's the next thing I need? I need gladiators. You need once you say you have all of them, then you say now I want to double out. Now I want to get all of them again. Now you get all of them the same year. Yeah. Just gotta set those type of goals.
Oh man, that's a goal, Kadeem.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the goals to achieve right there.
You and pork chop.
Do you purge? What were you gonna say?
He's dying for me to bring back the OT. Like when I say I got my A card, that was the person that I played with the whole year.
And does he still play or?
Pork Chop still plays, but he's more focused on school. So I was more focused on handball than he was in handball. So I took a step back from him. So I was like, you focus on school, you get your school done. But now he has more time to play, so he wants to bring back the team. Yeah.
Pork Chop is the mold for Kadeem, in my opinion. Because Kadeem is when I watch him play doubles, he's a type of player that needs to catch fire, right? We call it, it's slipping my mind right now, but you can't move him back and forth. You can't be like, oh, let me serve from power side now. Pork Chop is a weak side player that can generate points from the weak side. So even if Kadeem is playing slow, Pork Chop could keep you in the game until he catches fire. Right? So it's the same thing with Baseball Chris. It's just that Baseball Chris died out on you at the Buddha.
But I feel like I should have listened more. I feel like that was my fault more or less than even with play, how I played. Like I played good and Baseball Chris played good. But I felt like that was more me being more not the same player I was last year. Because the player I am now, I would have called timeout at 16 up when we made the comeback. The player I am now, but that was a mistake I learned further on. Chris told me to call timeout. And he was a more experienced player. He'd been through all these battles already. And he called me to call timeout. And I was like, nah, I'm on fire right now. I can do this right now. But I felt like I burned out on him, not the other way around.
No, you definitely burnt out.
Yeah.
But you were doing a lot.
Yeah, I had to.
Right? And the game before, you were possessed. Like, it looked like you didn't even want them to hit the ball once.
Yeah.
It was like one of those, like, I'm not even going to let you get comfortable. In and out. Under 10, right?
No, they actually scored. They made a run at the end of the game. They scored 12, I believe.
Crazy.
Still.
Yeah.
Like, I remember watching you, and you weren't even standing still when they were serving. You were like this at the back, waiting for the serve. And I'm like, damn, like this is...
that was Adam's fault. Like I said before, I was like, when somebody said I can't do something, and I don't like to prove them wrong. Adam was like, you can't beat this team. There's no way. I was like, he's like, you shouldn't even play with... He told me I shouldn't even play with Chris. Like, I can't beat this team. It was like, I'm the best player on the court. I was like, I could beat any team if I get on fire. No. He's like, nah, you can't do it. So I was like, all right, I can't do it. Then put the battery in my back.
Yeah, Chris, it was crazy.
I
mean, I'm watching him. I've made the mistake at playing Kadeem in a 2-on-1 in St. John's when he had that same energy.
Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Who's your partner?
I'm not even going to mention his name because it wasn't his fault.
No more ankles.
No. It wasn't his fault because he didn't see the ball. Yeah. Kadeem hit everything to me, everything to my left, and it was terrible. And I'm like...
Do you remember the score? It is.
I think we got past 10. But 10. It wasn't. Even if we got 14, it wasn't even like we were in the game. That 14 was like the furthest 14 from 21 you could come. You know, it was like and you know, the hindsight is 2020. When we lost, in my head, I'm like, he was bouncing. before we even played, I should have known not to play this game. You know, it was just signs. It was signs. Read them, Josh. Read them. It was terrible. Almost lost a friend that day.
You were tight. It was that serious.
Yeah, it was bad. It was all my fault though, so I understood.
Oh man. I guess we can. I want to know a little bit more about like your journey during like. I guess because you explained that like there's like a kind of like a series from A to Open. Like, can you describe what that's like? Like, because you're still playing elite players, I guess, like everyone who has their A card,
All right, so I would say when I got my A card, which was 2013, the next following year was 2014. It was a big year. I knew stepping into the game, I had to step my game up. Timo was at the top of his game at that point. He was winning every tournament, crushing everybody, whoever was in his path. And there was a couple of times I played him, and I was getting better results. I played him at Red Bull. It was like I scored 8. And then I played him at another tournament, Kingdom Court, I believe. I scored like 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was getting better results in the A class, but that's because I was a lower player. But then the following year after that, 2015, I was going into tournaments. I was like, I feel like I could hang with the top guys, you know, being Taiwan and money games or like street games, Iggy, all those plays and stuff. So then 2015 was Ballers, and I happened to have a good bracket, so I got to the further in the tournament, and I actually won that year.
Yeah.
So that's what everything really started happening at that point. At that point, my confidence was like super.
You won the Nationals too, right?
No,
Around that time?
I've never won Nationals. That Ballers was the first big tournament I won.
So the year you beat Timbo in the Nationals.
The year I beat Timo in Nationals was 2017.
And you didn't win?
I did it with Nationals. Taiwan beat me 25-21 or something like that in the finals. Yeah.
So Nationals is something else you gotta slam.
Nationals is something else I need to win. I need to win the singles or doubles there. I don't know. I can't do right in that tournament.
When you were like, so when you're coming up, like, and I know that gambling is part of like the kind of like the culture to practice. Like, who did you want to like gamble with the most to kind of get your game better?
Well, coming up, like at my age bracket, it was me, Los, Justin, Rodriguez, coming up with them. And Justin was a little better than all of us already. He was already better. No. So it was like me and Carlos. I had an edge battle with Carlos. So I like playing him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And now, even though now, it's still my favorite player to play against. So we gambled a lot against each other. We played a lot against each other, singles, doubles. It didn't matter the game. So that was the person I like battled with.
That's interesting because that's like a huge height discrepancy. Like he was just all over the court, just like
Carlos has always had that hunger, desire to. All right, I'm gonna beat you. I could do it. Even though my size is short, I'll show you something on the court. He's a better doubles player, I would say, than a singles player, and I'm more of a singles player than a doubles player. So it's like the controversy battle, like who's a better player. Like even if we're playing singles or doubles, no matter what. So it's always good battles.
Where mostly did you practice?
We mostly practice at St. John's, more or less. St. John's is a night court in Brooklyn. It's located in Utica. Yeah, that's where all of the top Brooklyn players more or less come together. Queens comes out there some nights. You have the Bronx. Like ones in the blue, but that's where you come to get your game better, groom your game at nighttime. Yeah. Did you know about all the other courts? Like were you thinking like I gotta travel all over New York so I can like really experience like every bit of handball? So I had when I was growing up, there was a person named Arthur. I don't know if you know him. He's a little bigger guy. He's pretty obnoxious most of the time. But he would always tell me. Only when he's playing. Yeah, only when he's playing. He likes to have a good time. So my character became, because I was young, I grew up around him. So like my character grew. His character grew on me. So he would tell me the only way to get better is to travel out of here. You're only going to be as good as the park you're at if you stay here. So you're going to stay stationary. So I always had that in the back of my mind. I was like, I'm not going to stay stationary. If I want to be the best, I got to beat the best. Yeah. So I had to go to the best. The best wasn't going to stay there, come to me. Yeah. So then I started traveling to local parks that were closer to me. They told me about St. John's at nighttime. They told me about Van Cortlandt. They told me about Castle Hill, where the top players, you play opposite games over there. So I got my opposite bet over there sometimes, play games over there. There was Parks and Queens. Broadway was a good park where everybody came together. Coney Island is a good park. You know, Lobs there. So, do you remember like athletes at the different parks, like, you know, kind of like Street Fighter going to Brazil? Oh, yeah, like, do you remember like someone like? Did you feel that there were different styles in each borough, or? Yes, there's very different styles. I would say the Bronx what the Bronx brings to the table, they have a strong structure together. They're like more of a together group, and they're opposites of the best out of the older boroughs, I'll say. The opposites, more or less, if you go to the Bronx and practice, your game will be a good opposite game.
What do you mean by opposite game?
Yeah, left. Yeah, most of the time it's a righty, so your opposite your left.
Yeah,
your left will become stronger going to the Bronx.
Okay.
Because they play a lot of opposite games. Play left only games. They play over the short line games with the opposite only. Those are the kind of games they play over there.
Is that like something that they do consciously, or they're just a bunch of lefties in the Bronx?
No, there's a bunch of righties, but those are the games that the older crowd brought to them. So Cisco was over there a lot.
Yeah.
Cisco had a great opposite.
Yeah.
So he started playing people left to two and stuff like that. So people started trying to develop his left.
That's interesting.
So like Pooch, Colleen,
Yeah.
Lenny, Allen, they all learned opposite games and stuff like that. So from Coney Island, they're great with lobs. Their court is a bigger court.
Right.
So the foundation is lobs. Most of the people from like Brooklyn, more or less, I would say are like, we're like more like scrappier. Like, so we shoot the ball, we hustle for shots. But like I would say Brooklyn is more of a shooting borough. We shoot a lot of shots from anyone in the court. We're more like, we don't have a straight fundamental game. We're like more shooters. So that's what each borough brings to the table. Queens, they just bring their own style to the game. Whatever it is, they bring, whoever comes to that could play any kind of game.
No. I was talking to Tim because he said that he got to play the dude from Spain, and I think he said something about, because I know that they have a game that's similar out there that's like called pelote, and they like they play with a really hard ball that they like kind of smack from like deep. And so, were you able to play this Spanish game?
No, the Spain kid, I wasn't able to get the chance to play against them. But the game that they're talking about is I think it's called Pelé. Like that. They bring the ball up with their return, so he has a strong underhand.
Right.
His underhand game is stronger and developed more because he has a great form.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I wondered if there were different styles in each borough, but like hearing it is crazy, and you being aware of it is like very, very like. Do you keep that in the back of your head? You're just like, oh, he's Brooklyn, he's gonna shoot it, or he's Queens and he might do this. They might have a left game, or
not consciously. Like looking back at it now, I could see what borough brings to the table. But coming up, you don't really understand it. Like when you're coming into the game, you're like, damn, they just play a lot of left games over there. They lob the ball a lot when you're at Coney Island a lot. So you just read people's games better like that.
Right.
Like know what they're gonna do more or less.
That's fire. That's really, really cool. So like, because you were saying that you got used to, well, not that you got used to it, but like early on in your game, you didn't like call timeouts. You were trying to like just muscle through it. Like, what was different from when you started playing handball to now?
From when I started playing handball, experience of different factors in the game. Like you could be losing 17-9. Now, like me losing 17-9 5 years ago versus me losing 17-9 now. If I'm losing 17-9 now, I'm like, damn, I gotta score 12 points right now. I gotta score now to get on the run. Versus now, I'm like, all right, I can score 4 points right now. Get them down again without scoring. Score another 4 points. Score another. I go point by point. I wouldn't be more or less worried about the total outcome of losing 17-9.
That's interesting. So you compartmentalize the points. You don't just say, you don't put the pressure on yourself of doing like the whole like bracket kind of thing, whole amount of points.
That's more or less what comes with experience wise. So it's like what Rookie would always tell me. Rookie is another person that like told me like little stuff. So he would always say, if you look at it in a bigger picture, you're never gonna be able to break it down like the way you need to break it down. So losing 17-9, you're gonna think about scoring 12 points right now. What is the you're not gonna be able to score 12 points more or less just like out of nowhere. You lose 17-9. So you have to break it down like more or less. Well, can I get 12? I score 3 points. Can I get to 15? Another 3 points. Yeah. Can I get him down? Yeah, I get him down 1 time. Get him down 2 times. Or he has 18. All right, he needs 3 points. Can I get him down again? It's easy to break it down versus think about it bigger way.
There are limitations to your confidence, though, as Kadeem has learned in the past. Or because it's a B player doesn't mean you don't have to worry about them. David Velez.
That's very true. That's very true. That's very true. Sometimes you could be overconfident. Like my game, more or less before, I'll be overconfident going into games, and it could break you down. If you could be overconfident and somebody plays good at that point, which David Velez did play last year came to court, he could defeat you even if he's better than him. it's anybody's day. Anybody
Yeah.
can have that day. So
It's
that's
like a
how-
momentum thing. Like once that momentum shifts one way and a player's extra confident in themselves at that moment, they can hit the ball with their pinky and it's going cross court killing.
Yeah.
You know, so like, and I feel like because you came back in that David Velez game, but his serve was hitting, his right was hitting. It was like
confident.
you were like, I gotta not let him score, and he was like, I'm just gonna hit this ball as hard as I could and kill it.
Yeah.
And it was just, you saw it in the comeback, but he edged out that year.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you with what you're saying. It's just you, as your experience grows, physically you might not be growing, but mentally you're growing at the same time.
Yes.
You know, so I heard Tom Brady say that recently in football, that like physically he's not doing anything he's never done in the past, but as far as his mental game is, he can break down every single thing in the game. You know, like even down to your footwork and which way you open up your hips and what you're more at your weakness is when you're facing this way versus like things like that.
Yeah.
So I like that handball could be just as strategic.
Do you try to watch footage or do you just watch yourself play?
Now, see, like I was saying before, further back, I wasn't watching footage. Up until like last year and this year, I've been watching more footage to see what players' tendencies are. Like, what's the percentage they're gonna go for this shot? Like Davo, I know more or less. If I serve it to his left hand, he'll whip the ball, try to win it back to me. It's gonna come back to the middle of the court. All I gotta do is shift my body to go for a specific shot that moment. So tendencies are gonna help you. So if you watch footage, that's only gonna get your game better. It's not gonna take nothing away from you.
Yeah. Would you rather spend the energy going after a shot, or would you just rather let the point go and don't waste the energy?
Well, as a player, for me, I have length for days, so I'm gonna run down almost every shot, and I'm more or less I'm not gonna get tired depending on what game it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to run down every shot I can.
I noticed that because like going from C to B to A, like even for myself, I'm like, that's the difference. Like when it goes for that second bounce and it's like almost there, who's gonna go for like who's gonna put their hand under the ball and like stop it? And I'm always amazed at like last second. I'm like, no one's hitting that. Like, how are you gonna hit that? That shit is like that is gonna hit the floor, and then you guys pick it up. That shit is amazing.
But that more or less comes with experience because then, like me at my age right now, I'm 25.
Yeah.
So me running for that shot is different from rookie running for that shot. Like you see, rookie played Justin Saturday. There's
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah.
He played Josh on Saturday. If Josh has a certain shot that he thinks that if he goes to get that shot, he can't put it away, he won't run for that shot.
You know what? I was gonna say rookie's the only person I could think of that's at that level that he could let you get a point and never be out of the game.
That's more or less what happened.
Yeah.
Like Josh was serving good. Josh served the ball up the line and aced him.
Yeah.
And rookie was never phased by it because rookie's most experienced in the game right now. He's seen every shot. He knows every play what's gonna happen already.
Right.
He knows once he gets up, he knows what he has to do to score points.
Besides like you like achieving these things in handball, what would you like to see also in the future of handball as far as like tournament wise, player wise, even like
The rules
and regulations?
Well, the sport. All right, my honest opinion about the sport. I don't feel like it's gonna achieve what it should achieve. Even though everybody's helping out, they're not together. More or less, for a foundation to grow, you need to be together. But handball, no one wants to become together. So I don't feel like it's gonna grow like that. The rules should be standard. They shouldn't be like every tournament. This rules is in effect. There's another rule in effect. It should be standard. Like if somebody calls a block, the play should stop. Like
You agree with that?
I agree with that.
That's good
There
to
we
know.
go.
That's
I don't care.
a little ammo in my back pocket now. I'm like, listen, the king of the court champion agrees with that rule.
That rule should definitely be in effect because if you don't set that rule like that, it leaves room for error. Because now, if there's a play, somebody serves the ball, right? You hit the ball back. I could just say block for no reason,
Exactly.
and the player could just like stop, and they'll score a point like that, or get down like that, which is unfair.
Yeah.
Which is unfair to the player and the spectators at the same time, because the players want to be able to play a game that you know what the rules are and stuff like that, and the spectators want to see a good game, and you're taking away from the game in that aspect. So it's like that's how I mess up, and the game could further grow. Which was prior stuff that they used to do. They used to do youth tournaments, 19 and unders. They used to do Paul Williams used to do tournaments at Central Park and stuff like that. and the better players would mentor the younger players, more or less. Like everybody would have like a kid that they help grow, get better. Like rookies was Gio. There was like Taiwan was learning from Lincoln Terrace. He was learning from Lefty George. Lenny and them was learning from Cisco. There was players that like have like their mentorship.
There was like an apprentice, like
and you see,
master.
You'll see the next person coming in line like that. Nowadays, you don't have that. Timber doesn't have no mentorship. Maybe Taiwan has Nas. I would talk to like Davo and Dan. Rookie would talk to Dan. But their games will be like not the same or anything like that, or not close to it.
No.
So now I feel like that's taken away from the game because now you'll never see the experience that the top players will give the lesser players that type of game. You'll never see that now. In the youth games, like I went to a youth tournament yesterday. Me and Taiwan were the only top 2 players there. And it was like so many, you could see so many people that was like, you talking about all like Gio and like their game style, but they want to do these shots. But none of those players are there to tell them, like teaching those shots or tell them about this other things. Yeah. So it's like the game is taken away because the youth is not going to develop into the players that we are now.
I felt like the players who are part of the system that maybe that you guys don't want to see the change because this is just what you guys are used to, you know, like with like you're playing with gambling and stuff like that, going to the tournaments, but you guys want to see the sport grow.
Yeah, hands down, I believe almost all the players would love to see the sport grow. Because we could say one day, like, damn, we was one of those players that helped the sport get to there. We was one of the players that competed in that tournament to get the sport better. We seen these kids come up to that level. We played these kids before. We can see them on TV now. We can tell our kids about it and stuff like that. But for the sport to grow, we have to come together and make it grow. But
I mean, so it's the end of this. It's so-called the end of the season.
Yes.
Like if next year, if all four, like if what is it, Gladiators,
Buddha,
it already started this year, in my opinion, when they enforced goggles. That was the start. Let's just see if we can keep it going.
I agree with you almost with that, but then now you have, even though I like the idea of no goggles, by the way, but even though now all of them are supposed to come together, why was there no goggles and bowlers?
I do not know. I don't know.
I personally asked Ms. V because I didn't want no goggles. I really do not want no goggles. I don't feel like we need them at all. Yeah. If anything, if y'all to say anything about the sport for like what do y'all need to bring the sport, it would say gloves. Gloves will be next year. I'm hearing already. Yeah. Which they're already speaking about every tournament you have to wear gloves, participate in gloves. I'll be okay with gloves, even though I don't like wearing gloves. But it'll help the sport because you won't have the skip balls and stuff like that. We won't worry about
it. Creates more of a consistency.
Yeah, it creates more consistency. The goggles effect. Who got hit in the eye that made y'all want to play goggles everywhere?
You do know people get hit in the eye, right?
I understand that.
Like, you don't want to be that one person that your retina detaches because you got hit in the eye, and then you're like, listen, guys, trust me, wear goggles. It's like it's like a seatbelt kind of.
But in basketball, it kind of works the same way because people are throwing bows in basketball. If you get hit with a backswing like that, I think. And again, I'm new to this, so I mean, like for me, goggles may not be
the biggest.
Biggest thing.
It's not, but it was the easiest.
It was the easiest thing
because gloves. As much as you are okay with it, you're okay with the change. No. Gloves is a lot harder to mandate because they get wet, so you need more than one pair. Right. You can't bring one pair of gloves to a tournament in King of the Courts and it's 100 degrees. You'll sweat through them in half a game. So you need at least 6 pair of gloves for, especially if you're like, I'm gonna win this. I'm going to day 2. Like, you need those gloves.
And that's a supply and demand thing. That's because they're able to bring goggles and it'll be able to fund from the tournament. Gloves, on the other hand, if you have every player wear gloves and there's 112 players, gloves are $16 a player. You got, damn, I played $1,600 at least. Minimum, you got to think about that.
This is crazy because like every time we have this show, like there's always like, and it's not about like I'm not saying like pointing the blame. I just see another avenue where someone could help to kind of push more unity. So like last time we talked about the tournament heads. This time the sponsors, the people who provide athletic wear, like they could help out and get at least discount the gloves or do something so that maybe as part of your buy-in you get gloves, or at least maybe one pair of glove, you bring your own, you get a backup, like just something to kind of like, not as an incentive, but yeah, almost as an incentive to follow the rules. Because if we're giving you a pair of gloves to wear, it's like, yo, you have to wear gloves. Here's a pair of gloves. You're already buying in for like, I don't know, like Big Blue was 55. Yeah. It's like, like take a portion of that, get them gloves.
Yeah, but you take a portion in New York, and that portion, the mathematicians come out and they're like, yo.
But there's rules though. I mean, like if you say you need gloves and we're giving you gloves, what are you gonna say? Like, okay, like
what are you gonna say? They don't need the gloves because we really
But then they say you can't play.
No, let's say I'm like, I already have gloves.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't need gloves.
Yep.
But if we provide gloves and you end up coming with if you come, then you better have your own gloves. If not, you wear the gloves that we gave you.
Yeah. Well, the rule is you need to have the equipment just in case. In big ball, that's the rule right now. Mm-hmm. So if I say you're wetting the ball, you got to put on gloves, and you put on a pair of gloves, and it's 20 up, and your gloves are soaked, and I say you got to put on another pair of gloves, and you don't have it, you lose that game. You are now DQ because you don't have the equipment. So as a tournament host, the best option is to have gloves on hand for them to purchase. Now somebody, because of the tournament that I just ran, somebody asked me, how come you don't have loaner gloves? And I said, you can't have loaner gloves because you sweat in them. Yeah. Right? So like I can't.
That's a health hazard.
Yeah, like exactly, because we get our cuts in our hands too. So I'm like, you can't have loaner gloves, but I have the option for you to purchase. That's the best that I could do if you're not prepared.
And you can take it. You can take it from their. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but you can take it from their winnings. Just like
if they're in the winning already, though. Yeah. Like they got to be that far in order for me to take it from the winning.
That's true.
And and there's certain players that don't skip the ball as much as other players. Because like you can see, I would say Josh is one of Pork Chop or Josh Garcia. They both skip the ball crazy. Little Carlos. They both, but Timbo, they're known for skipping the ball like a lot. And then you have certain players like Iggy that doesn't skip the ball as much. Chris Shaw doesn't skip the ball like that. Why would those players be hindered to make sure they have to wear gloves and they don't skip the ball like that? So it's like that's why I said that's why he's right in the fact that it is harder to get gloves to start out with, and it was easier with goggles. I understand now. I understand the point of that. But goggles to me.
No, wait, let me stop you before you catch yourself. There's studies that have been done. USHA has spent thousands of dollars on studies on the goggles, the specs for them, and what they would prevent. We are far from where we need to be. I wanted to say this about the goggles. For me, there's 3 reasons why goggles are important. Number 1 is safety. Whether you believe it or not, if they spent the money on it and they can show me on paper this is certified for this, that, and the third, I'm going to believe their safety reasons. Number 2 is for uniform, right? Like just thinking about professional, like a helmet in football. Like they went from leather helmets to the helmets now, and then if you're watching, Antonio Brown's frustrated because he can't use a helmet. Exactly, because you gotta. Each year it's gonna get better. So the goggles we have now, 10 years from now, they're gonna be perfected even better, right? And the third is a market. You create a market for selling goggles. Now all of a sudden you get investors. Let's say we only get 1, but I got the money to invest, and I spent X amount of money. Now I have these stylish goggles that everybody wants. I'm basically monopolizing that market and making my money back. Might be a small profit, but then you bring in the gloves. All of a sudden, oh, you know what? I got a glove manufacturer too. I stole that market from you. Last thing we do is when we start wearing uniforms. You gotta wear a shirt, or you gotta wear a matching shirt and shorts. Like if we ever get to that point, we get people that can invest in our sport. What do investors do? You don't gotta pay to play. It's a sponsorship. Like this tournament is $1,000 first place, free entry. Everyone's gonna want to play in it. So that's what
the pots are gonna be a lot bigger if we can get sponsors in here.
So those are my 3 reasons why I won't. And I hate. I wear glasses. You will never see me playing my glasses because glasses create blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I know that we're trying to push for goggles, I wear them when I'm playing locally. I have to get used to having.
And it's still such a low cost of entry. You can just get gloves and like the goggles, you know? Like you don't have to like really spend too much on like the uniforms, or you're not forced to join a team because you're by yourself. You know, you don't have to like worry about the next person if they're getting it and then your team doesn't have certain things.
Goggles
are
$15. Reality is you only need one per year, and you use it more than 1 year. But like if you wanted to switch it, you don't see any other type of sneaker being played on basketball court but basketball sneakers, right? It's the same thing with goggles. If I have an insurance policy and you're playing in my facility, let's say I have an indoor facility, and you turn around, you get blasted in your eye, and you're not wearing goggles and your retina detached, you could sue me. You're on my premises, my insurance policy is out in the open for it. But now if you're wearing goggles and I mandated you to wear goggles, I'm saving myself from that insurance lawsuit. You might still, and I'm not trying to be legal here, but like you might still be able to sue. But the point is that I tried to prevent that from happening. I made an effort for it. You know, so like, again, I don't know if this is correct, but that's just the way that I think. I feel like it has to do with legal reasons also. And they've mentioned that with insurance policies. Like when you want to start a corporation, if I wanted to start a football league, I got to have an insurance policy. You know, so when these USHA, best believe they have insurance policy.
Yeah, but they also have a contract you have to sign too while you play, before you play.
A waiver.
A waiver. So if you sign your waiver, you're giving up your rights to wear goggles or not wear goggles.
But they make you wear goggles though.
But so you make you wear goggles, but you sign a waiver so you can't be sued. So they can't be sued.
But I almost feel like that waiver is saying we're trying and making you wear goggles so you can't sue us.
Right.
They don't give you the option of not wearing goggles.
You might be right there.
You get what I'm saying? And I don't know. Cut this out. This was too much.
No,
I might be incredibly wrong with that.
Yeah, that's the whole point, man. That's
people are gonna be like, "Yo, Josh, you're an idiot, bro."
No, we
got
This is all good, man. This is all good information. But I feel like you said, like it gives a potential market, which means
that's one thing.
That is what I think is like the higher, like, you know, if everyone has to take a hit with the goggles, you know, let it be, you know, that we get more money for it. Yeah,
and it's small. No. But you also got to remember this too. Like, let's say I just have an equipment store. You know?
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods, man.
Yeah, like let's just say I do equipment. And all of a sudden, I forget Dick's. Let's say I have a little equipment store right here in Brooklyn, right by 4th and 4th, or right by St. John's where we all do tournaments. And next year I get every single day I'm selling 6 pair of goggles. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, let me find, what are you getting these goggles for? Oh, for handball. Oh, really? But what else do you need there? And now all of a sudden you have the interest of a small business owner. You know, like, and now me, I see what handball's doing for me, so let me do back so that it comes back to me. You know, so like it's a constant recycle. And I throw my name out there, that's marketing, burning rubber. You know, like I put like, oh, look, this is Golden Just Equipments. You know, like, and then all of a sudden you're like, yo, Kadeem, where'd you get the goggles? Oh, right around the block, Golden Just. I'm gonna go get there. You know, it's potentially could create more money. I'm willing to take the hit. Kadeem is too. He's gonna.
No, man. I just love those ideas, and I feel like, again, speaking them into existence just lets everyone out there, like, even if you have a small business right now and you're watching this, yo, gloves and what do we call
goggles,
them? Eye guards. You know, there's a potential market because, you know, Handball wants to see some growth, so hit us up with that stuff.
Yeah, man. We're here. we got money. Did you have
any more questions? So we have a rapid fire for you. We try to keep it between 1 and 2 words. We have so you answer them as quick as possible. As quick as possible. Lightning round. We have favorite court.
Coin.
Favorite tournament.
Buddha. King court.
King court. Favorite player.
Los.
Favorite partner.
Josh.
Which one?
Pork chop.
That's it. That's it.
What's your favorite shot?
La Corner.
Alright, man. You can tell everybody where they can reach you on social media, all that stuff.
My name's Kadeem Bush on Facebook and anywhere else you want to reach me at. Instagram. So reach me at Kadeem Bush. I might not add you, but it's okay. Nah, it'll be alright.
And where will you be? Like, if people want to like come and try and test their metal on the
If they want
court.
to test their skills, most likely I'll be at St. John's at nighttime. During the daytime, I could be at Grand Street, West 4th. You catch me at any park, you can just hit me up. I'll probably go there.
Hey, dope. All right, guys. Thank you so much.